When you hear, Dylan Dreyer drops jaw-dropping new photos, leaving little to the imagination, you probably start thinking about the pictures instead of the person. But if you see the entire movie, you'll see that these images are more than just positions and outfits. They show a side of Dylan that most people don't know about, her demanding days, her family life, the stress she endures on TV, and the real person behind that beaming grin. Watch this movie through to the very end because the last sequence will completely change how you think about her and those photos. Most people know Dylan Dreyer as the friendly character who appears on their TV in the early hours of the morning and talks pleasantly about storms, snow, and sunshine. She constantly keeps a neat, collected appearance, even when talking about bad news or bad weather. As a result, it is first startling when fresh images of her show up on social media, with some calling them jaw-dropping. You're used to seeing her in a studio, well-groomed, and beaming. Simply because these new photos show a more open, personal side, people pause and amaze. She might have a softer hairstyle than usual, heels, a tight-fitting dress, and well-timed lighting in some of the pictures. In others, she might be outside, laughing while sporting a simple top and pants, or holding an umbrella in the pouring rain behind the scenes. The pictures leave little to the imagination not because they are ridiculous, but rather because they depict a great deal of her real life, including the brightness of someone who still loves what she does, the tiny lines of someone who gets up early, and the weary eyes concealed by cosmetics. It goes beyond being a TV host. You are seeing someone who has devoted years of her life to this job. The effort needed to seem camera-ready is something that people frequently forget. Before any photos are ever shot, there are long journeys to the studio while most of the city is still asleep, hasty showers, hurried cups of coffee, and alarms going off in the dark. Along with hair, makeup, and clothes, a full team is monitoring the clock. When you see that polished image in a new photo, it looks effortless and attractive. But beneath that one picture is a long history of early mornings, restless nights, and days when she had to smile in spite of her inner tiredness. Then there is the familial aspect, which is occasionally more apparent in these images. She can be spotted holding one of her kids, walking hand in hand with her spouse, or sitting in a messy living room with toys on the floor and a big smile on her face. What really leaves little room for interpretation is that she is a mother who has to juggle schooling, lunchboxes, and bedtime stories after a full day of live TV. People's responses to those images reveal a deep-seated feeling that many parents can relate to, a blend of love and turmoil. Every new picture that appears online is, of course, criticized. Some people are quick to remark on how amazing she looks, how she seems to shine, and how inspiring it is to see her confident and at peace. Some are more severe. They might remark that she looks different from how she appears on television, that the clothing is too much, or that she ought to wear something quieter. They fail to notice that she is allowed to have several identities. She can look serious in a jacket in the morning and energetic and stylish in an eye-catching outfit at night. The images become a test that she didn't ask for. If you are still here, I appreciate your perseverance. The next time you look at one of Dylan Dreyer's most recent photos, you'll realize that a whole life and story are hidden inside just one frame. If this video affected your opinion of her, please give it a like, share it with someone who likes to see the real sides of celebrities, and subscribe so you don't miss any more in-depth stories buried behind the headlines and pictures. Thanks to your support, we can continue to show you the human reality behind the images that everyone is discussing.